Hello dear fans, friends and subscribers. This is your host Ram welcoming you to your daily cricket show, the Cricket Happening Show. And on this Cricket Happening Show, going to talk about day 3 in the second test match between India and West Indies, which was played at the Kingston in Jamaica and Sabana Park. And India had one more centurion today as Ajinkya Rahane strode towards his third test century, and in the process enabled India. In fact, he was there till the end. He was unconquered on 130 odd runs, which I'll speak about, and he was the one who carried India past the 500 mark, thus India getting a 304 runs lead in the first innings. And this was at the tea interval, and after that there was no play possible because of rain, which was unfortunate. And also I have to say that the forecast for tomorrow, that's on the fourth day, is not at all encouraging. There is a nasty storm expected. Well, if it passes through, that would be great. Otherwise, I'm sorry to say, this match could be ruined. So I'll be talking about that, and then we'll have a look at some Caribbean Premier League matches where St. Lucia Zouks clinched their third spot. And also look at some cricket news where the Australian coach Lehmann has been given a long rope. He has been he has been appointed the coach till 2019, so that gives him a lot of confidence, and that also shows how much the Australian Cricket Board has the faith in Darren Lehmann, even though Australia lost the first test against Sri Lanka. So first, let's head off towards the match between India and the West Indies. So India resuming on their overnight score with Ajinkya Rahane in the middle along with Wriddhiman Saha. Slowly they started pushing the score together, but one has to say the bowling was very good from the West Indies. Yes, they were definitely crippled with not having Miguel Cummins there, but I thought the West Indians were doing a good job. They were containing the Indian batsmen. They were not allowing them any freebies, and that was good to see. So there was a marked improvement as far as the bowling was concerned, one could say, because if you look at the score, that would really tell you the tale, because India were 300 and if I'm not wrong, they were 350 odd runs, if I'm right. But after that, it was definitely, I thought the West Indian bowlers deserve credit. And Ajinkya Rahane was there in the centre along with Wriddhiman Saha. But they slowly took the score on towards 425, which was still a good partnership because it was a 98 runs partnership. And finally the breakthrough came when the West Indian captain Jason Holder had Wriddhiman Saha LBW for 47 with 5 fours. Amit Mishra's contribution was 21 with 1 4 and 1 6. But Ajinkya Rahane, let me talk about his knock. His knock was something which was a real treat to watch, and especially what was the important feature of Ajinkya Rahane's stroke play was the way he actually was playing shots on the back foot. That was really good to see. The way he was using his back foot to play his strokes, it was really nice to watch, and that was good to very refreshing to see that Ajinkya Rahane really showed what a valuable member of the team he is, as he stroked a century. He got 108 runs, but Mohammad Shami was, and then it was Roston Chase, the right arm off spinner, getting his maiden 5-wicket haul in his very first test. In fact, this is the test match where Roston Chase was making his debut, if I'm right here. And Roston Chase has really done, I think it's the second test match, if I'm not wrong. He played in the first test match too. I'm not really sure about it, but whatever the case, it's a maiden 5-wicket haul for Roston Chase, a tall bowler, and really gives the ball a lot of depth. And we saw that he would be very happy with this, even though India went on to score a 500. Shami was bowled by Chase for naught. Umesh Yadav was caught by Holder, the bowling of Chase for 19 with 4 boundaries, which left Ajinkya Rahane high and dry, not out on 108 with 13 fours and 3 sixes. I thought he played magnificently, 108 runs, and that enabled India to go and reach a 500 mark. So it's a psychological pressure on the West Indies, with India actually getting a 304 runs lead. which was pretty good to see. So Roston Chase was the hero for the West Indies. He really bowled very well. 1 overs, 4 maidens, 121 runs, and he took 5 wickets. The other wickets went to Gabriel, 1 for 62, 1 for 72 for Jason Holder, 1 for 107 for Bishu, and that was it. After that, as I said, at tea time, yes, I was pretty right. It was only Miguel Cummins who is making his test debut. It is Roston Chase playing his second test match, and he will be very happy that he took 5 Indian wickets with his off spin. And I think that will really boost his confidence. As you know, if you take Indian wickets, if spinners can take wickets of the Indians, one could really say that you're a good bowler. And Roston Chase did it, so he should be proud of that achievement. And 304 runs lead, as I said, after tea, when India applied the declaration, we saw that the play had to be called off with the rain persistently falling. And as I said, there is a nasty storm forecast tomorrow at Jamaica and Kingston. And if it passes, that would be great for cricket, but it doesn't. So India now would be probably eyeing to see whether they can really get this West Indian team out for before 304 and probably give them an innings defeat, because probably that would be on their minds, no doubt about it. And especially considering the fact, as you know, the Indian spinners have been having a great influence on the West Indies. Already Ashwin has done the trick, as you know, in the first innings. So one could probably see something of that happen once again, because the reason being, with rain forecast, and if at all whatever play is remaining, one can definitely say, because of the rain that is falling on this pitch, there could definitely be something. I mean, as you know, normally when it rains and the pitch dries up, you know what the spinners can do. And Ashwin has already sounded a warning in the first innings with his 5-wicket haul, and he could be a deadly bowler to face for the West Indies if there is going to be, the pitch is going to dry up with the sun shining brightly. It would be very interesting to see as to what happens. And tomorrow is going to be the 4th day of this test match, and I think, but as I said, one only hopes that the rain stay away and we have some nice play coming up on the morrow. Well, so that is as far as India versus West Indies is concerned. So now, today gives me some time because of this, the space that I have on my show here. It takes me down to the Caribbean Premier League. Now we are talking about the 30th match that happened in the Caribbean Premier League between with Jamaica Talawas and St. Lucia Zouks, which is led by Darren Sammy. And I have to say that Darren Sammy's team did well. In fact, and this was played in the United States, as you know. Many of the matches were played in the United States during this weekend at the Central Broward Regional Park Stadium turf ground in Lauderhill, and it was St. Lucia Zouks who were the victors. After their openers, who has been very consistent, Andre Fletcher and Johnson Charles. I think it's a very explosive combination, because especially Charles is in his element. Andre Fletcher is also an aggressive player, and Andre Fletcher and Charles have given some pretty good starts for the St. Lucia Zouks, and that has been the precise reason that St. Lucia Zouks have been backed up by their bowlers, and it has been easy for them to put up some big scores on the board and then get the opposition out. And that's what precisely happened yesterday, with Andre Fletcher's and Johnson Charles putting on a 104-run partnership in 11 overs, and that was pretty good batting by both, with Andre Fletcher's contribution being 70 of 54 deliveries, 4 fours and 5 sixes. Johnson Charles slammed 64 of just 35 deliveries, 9 fours and 2 sixes, 8 from Michael Hussey of 11 balls. Watson slammed it towards the end, dealing in sixes as he clubbed 42 unbeaten runs of 17 balls of the Jamaica Talawas with 5 sixes. Sammy not out on 6, and 194 was the score on the board for the St. Lucia Zouks. Imad Wazim none for 30 of 4, Shakib Al Hasan 3 overs none for 21, Williams 4 overs none for 38, Matrin the spinner 4 overs none for 40, Pavel bowled 4 overs, no maiden, 245, a bit costly there. Tim Roy Allen, the US player, 1 over, US import player, 1 over which cost him a lot. He leaked 19 runs of his first over, only over he bowled. And now let's look at the Jamaica Talawas. Now Jamaica Talawas, we know they are a very strong team led by Chris Gayle, the West Indian captain. But yesterday, Chris Gayle definitely entertained the public with his very quick knock of 30 of 15 deliveries, 3 fours and 2 sixes. Walton mustered 15 of as many balls with 1 4 and 1 6. Sangakkara could make only 24 of 17 deliveries with 4 fours. 28 from Powell, who is a very good talent according to me. When I've seen that he has some real raw power in his arms when he actually swings the bat at the bowlers, and today he contributed 28 of 23 balls with 1 4 and 2 6s before being clean bowled by Shane Shillingford, who made it to the team. And Shillingford also took the wicket of Walton. Andre Russell made 21 of 13 with 4 boundaries. Allen made 19 of 13 with 2 sixes. But in the end, Alex Rose and Shakib Al Hasan were left to the task. But it was not easy, I could say, because the bowling was absolutely on the mark. Some good bowling from the St. Lucia Zouks bowlers, which kept Alex Ross not out on 23. 15 balls, 1 4 and 2 6, and Shakib Al Hasan was not out on 9. And all that Jamaica Talabas could do was muster 176 for 6 of 20 overs. And that meant that St. Lucia Zouks won the match by 17 runs and walked into the 3rd spot in the Caribbean Premier League. And they truly deserve to be. They have been doing some very fine work, I thought, in the CPL of late, and they deserve to be there. Johnson, 1 for 42. Taylor, 4 overs, 1 for 38, bowled well. Watson, 4 overs, 1 for 26. 2 for 30 for Shane Shillingford, Rahane off-spinner. Grant Elliott, 2 overs, league 27. Pope, I thought still did a good job, 2 overs, 1 for 8. And the man of the match was Shane Watson for his all-round performance. So that is as far as the Caribbean Premier League is concerned. And we're also coming into the business end of the tournament now as far as Caribbean Premier League is concerned, and that should be a real beauty. Let's get on to some cricket news here. So the first news that I would like to share is Darren Lehmann, the Australian coach, his contract has been extended. He will be the Australian coach till 2019. So that really says a lot about Darren Lehmann as to what is the faith that the Australian Cricket Board has on Darren Lehmann. He has been appointed for a very, very long time. It's almost like a 4-year term that Darren Lehmann is going to hold the reins of coach of the Australian cricket team. And as you know, Australia recently lost the Test match to Sri Lanka to the spinners, as you would remember. But still, they have decided that Darren Lehmann will be the coach of the Australian team for the next 4 years. And I think probably that is the right way to go, because that also gives a lot of confidence to the coach, and the coach can also look into how he can mold the team. It gives him a chance to also get Australia onto the World Cup now, and so that could be probably the reason. So I think you can always and I think this is something that I would say the Australian Cricket Board is setting an example for other countries to follow here. The next thing that I'm going to talk about, and also there was another match which was played between Knight Riders versus Patriots, and as far as Knight Riders versus Patriots was concerned, that it was Trinbago Knight Riders who actually won the match, with St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots making 137 for 6. Some fine bowling from Dwayne Bravo, the captain from the Trinbago Knight Riders, who really look at his bowling analysis. Splendid bowling, 4 overs, no maiden. He took 4 wickets for 13 runs, and we have seen the sleight of hand approach from Dwayne Bravo. We have seen that in the IPL. We have seen that he is doing, and this is something that is a Dwayne Bravo special, according to me. You're not able to pick him up. He changes his pace beautifully. He slips in the slower one. He slips in the slower bouncer. He has a slower Yorker too. And this is great change of pace, I thought, from Dwayne Bravo. And this is something, a sort of a big weapon up his sleeve, which has had many batsmen groping, I would say. So yesterday, his victims at the St. Kitts Nevis Patriots were Everton Lovis, who's a very aggressive and dangerous player at that. He was gone for 1. Du Plessis was bowled by Bravo. That was a real, sort of a real beauty, which Du Plessis knew nothing about. He was gone for naught. And he also picked up the wickets of Brooks for 17 and Thomas for 8, and Lendl Simmons was the only one who had a measure of Bravo with not out on 60 or 40 deliveries, 3 fours and 4 sixes, 137 for 6 of their 20 overs. The Nevis Patriots, and look at the bowling figures from Bravo, 4 for 13, and what a captain effort that was. And after that, the Trinbago Knight Riders made sure that Dwayne Bravo's efforts were not wasted, as Trinbago Knight Riders went on to 8-wicket victory in the 17th over. Hashim Amla was cheaply dismissed for 6. Perkins making 29 of 24, 4 fours and 1 6. But Dinesh Ramadan played a very good knock with an unbeaten 52, 46 balls, 6 fours. And Brendan McCullum getting into some sort of form after a long time, for the first time I would say, in the Caribbean Premier League, making an unbeaten 43 of just 28 deliveries, 2 fours and 3 sixes. And that was it. Trinbago Knight Riders clinching that spot here, and they would be pretty happy with that effort, as I said, as Trinbago Knight Riders. Now, dear fans and subscribers, I think I am almost coming to the end of this cricket show for today. Hope you all loved this cricket show of mine, and there's more to come on my next cricket happening show, which is going to happen tomorrow. Till such time, I come and see you all. It's good night from host Ram. Thank you.